Hello and welcome back to the Denver Radio Club Learning Net for May 7th, 2025. A great place to learn about ham radio and STEM topics in general, and thankfully we have plenty of combined experience and expertise. This is Kilo 1, Delta Bravo Charlie. My name is Daron, that's Delta Oscar Romeo Oscar November, and I'm this evening's net control. Tonight we'll be taking your comments, questions, check-ins, updates, and more. We meet every Wednesday, except the third Wednesday of the month at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time on 145.490 and 448.625. Both have a negative offset. You can contact us via email at elmer@w0tx.org, net@w0tx.org, and on most social media at Denver Radio Club. We also stream and archive our nets on youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. So if you'd like to see behind the scenes of the net, or you're unable to reach our repeaters, that is an additional way to participate in the net. This net can be broken at any time for emergency or priority traffic by using the word break. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time? All check-ins to the net will be taken in alphabetical groups, based on the first letter of the suffix of the operator's call sign. That is the first letter after the number in the call sign. If you can, please try to use ITU phonetics for your call sign at least, and indicate if you have any traffic or questions as you check in. You can follow along with check-ins if you'd like, w0tx.org/check-in. With that, if your suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please check in now.
Kilo Mike 4, Charlie Fox, Tango, Jonathan in Highlands Ranch. I'll be in and out.
Alpha Foxtrot 0, Alpha Sierra, Dave in Evergreen. WD0, CIV, WD0, CIV, Charles in Denver, no traffic.
N0 DIS, November 0, Delta India, Sierra Doug, Denver. No traffic.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. We'll hold up there for just a moment. Excellent. A few check-ins here so far. I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. KM4CFT Jonathan, AF0S Dave, WD0CIV Charles, N0DIS Doug, and then online we had Kenny, KD0CGF, and Dustin, K0BF. Thank you all so much for checking in. Healthy check-ins here so far. Once more, if your call suffix begins with letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please call now.
0TX repeater.
Okay, well, go ahead and open up the whole alphabet. If you'd like to check in to the Denver Radio Club Learning Net, it's a great place to learn about ham radio and STEM topics. We're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, A through Z, Alpha through Zulu, please call now.
Kilo Echo 0, Sierra Uniform Mike, Jonathan, Lakewood.
Tango Romeo Papa, Jim in Lakewood. Good evening.
Alpha Echo Zero Yankee Romeo, Ed in Arvada with traffic.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. We had KE0 SUM Jonathan, N0 TRP Jim, and then online we had KE0 TSF Pete, and then over the air once more we had AE0YR Ed with traffic. Thank you all so much for checking in. Again, we'll take all call signs, all call suffixes. We'll make another call if you'd like to check in just for the count, or if you have any traffic or questions, let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Foxtrot Papa India, Grand in Lakewood.
All right, Net Control, I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. KF0 FPI Ron, thank you so much for checking in. This is reddit.com/r/amateur radio. Pretty awesome subreddit to check out if you haven't. Yeah, pretty interesting map there. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else at the moment? Calls or check-ins, anything else? Otherwise, we'll throw it over to Ed in just a moment. But once more, we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Please call now. Okay, if you aren't watching the video, I'm browsing reddit.com/r/amateur radio as usual. There is a post here from a ham. Looks like maybe in our neck of the woods. Maybe he has a poster from KOA Denver and another poster as well. So just pretty interesting stuff there. With that, we'll throw it over to Ed, AE0YR. The net is yours.
Good evening, everyone. I know this was on the exam, but it was a different context in answering a test question than it is now that I'm on the air. So I'm going to ask a question that's classic test material. But on the 20-meter band, when I'm transmitting, my radio defaults to upper sideband. I believe that's common for the 20-meter band. I cannot remember how close I can come to that upper band limit, 14.350, on upper sideband before I'm at risk of transmitting out of band. Can somebody remind me what that is?
KM4 CFT.
Great question, KM4 CFT with a response. Go ahead.
This is KM4 CFT. Well, the only thing you need to know is the bandwidth of your signal. A typical single sideband signal is anywhere between, it's usually 2.4 kilohertz, but it could be as large as 3 kilohertz. So upper sideband, you just need to say I would recommend staying at least 3 kilohertz away from the 250 area. So Or looking at my band plan, the closest you'd want to go is 14.347.
Thank you much. That's much closer than I thought. I was staying further away than that. So that helps a lot. Thank you much. AE0AR.
Excellent. Thanks for the response there, KM4CFT. Google AI response seems to be getting better and better nowadays. The example given is if you transmit on upper sideband using 14.348, the signal will extend from 348 to 351. This means you go upper edge of the signal is above the band limit. So, yeah, as Jonathan mentioned, 14.347, you should be good. Very cool stuff. Anyone else on that or anything else on band plans or exam questions or anything else so far for this evening's Learning Net? Please call now. Okay, nothing heard at the moment. I certainly can bring up some things. Some things have come up, just some recent news articles, things like that. But if anybody has comments or questions or any further check-ins, I didn't see anybody else notate they had any further traffic. But if anybody has anything, please call now.
Okay, E0SUM comment.
Jonathan, KE0SUM, the net is yours.
Well, after last week's announcement about DRC not holding their Hamfest, I thought it was interesting. But then I don't know about you because I'm retired. I usually have a radio on, and I scan and listen to different frequencies. But this afternoon I hit there was a big discussion going on W0CRA about, Hamfest and also about Field Day. And there were 3 or 4 operators. I think one probably was a member of Denver Radio Club. But there was a lively discussion how they were talking about the upcoming Field Day. And Denver Radio Club was thought of very highly in the discussion. And I think overwhelmingly, and I've heard several conversations, is that the club did really, I think everyone thinks you did right by not having the Hamfest to move to more meetings. Now, this is just what I've heard in my opinion. Back to net.
W0TX repeater.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, interesting to hear. Yep, absolutely. I know for people like myself, at least, it was attending our Hamfest it was a little bit inconvenient drive-wise and things like that. So it's nice to see that people do and understand and appreciate the events that we do put on and understand why we may need to cancel some in the interim and things like that. So yeah, I'm glad to hear that. So yeah, we are extremely happy to be able to continue to put on our Field Day event, and we will be doing that again this year. N6WHV, I think Dick Nelson is heading that up again this year. So that is excellent to hear. Yep, we'll be more focused on Field Day and our DRC Saturday events, which also went quite well last couple of years. So we'll be able to just put more focus onto probably just things that more people are more interested in. So, yeah, that's interesting to hear. So, yeah, thank you so much for the follow-up on that. Yeah, anyone else on that? Our cancellation of our Hamfest, again, RM Ham is taking over for that. rmham.org, you can find more info on their website. They'll be taking over for the Swap Fest. So if you still want to attend that in August, that's still an opportunity. But anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Please call now. Okay, I don't hear anything just at the moment. But anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Still a few months out till field day, but hopefully we'll be starting to announce some things like that. We'll be starting to put a committee together, hopefully, and get some more input on it this year and get some more involvement and things like that. So be on the lookout for that. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Anything else so far for this evening's Learning Net? Please call now. Okay. Let's see. I want to thank Jim, as always, for helping to take net control operations. And he did send me a message earlier today, and I forgot to update that, or it is updated now. If you're interested in, again, events for our club, there's an opportunity. We have a weekly luncheon. Location has changed to the Sunrise Sunset. It's still in Lakewood, or it's 1424 South Wadsworth Boulevard in Lakewood. The previous location that was used has closed down. So if you're interested in informal face-to-face meeting, DRC members meets on the third Wednesday, except for, the third Wednesday of each month, 11:30 a.m. So again, thanks to Jim and others who to show up and participate in that. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now. Okay, 7:47 p.m. Mountain Time. I guess I'll take check-ins. If you're just tuning in, this is the Denver Radio Club Learning Net. Great place to learn about ham radio and STEM topics. If you'd like to check in, we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Let us know your call sign and your name. And if you have any traffic or questions, please call now.
Comment SUM.
Let's see real quick in the chat. We had K0BF mentioning there's a new repeater, new Sterling UHF repeater coming up, 449.95 with a 103.5 PL tone. So if you're in the Sterling area, be on the lookout for that. We also then had Jonathan SUM. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jerome, since we like talking about ham radios, the latest and greatest Yaesu. I don't know if everyone's looked at this FTX-1 Optima. So this is, they're taking orders now. The pre-orders, they're taking the money, so we're expecting it in a few weeks. But this is quite a radio. But Yaesu has kind of surprised us because originally it was just pretty much a QRP radio. I think it does 8 and 6 watts. But so like just as like last week, all of a sudden, oh wait, now we have a 100-watt amplifier you can buy to go with it. It's separate. It costs another $400. So you can have a shack in the box with 100 watts and can disconnect the amplifier and go QRP, and it's all mode. But they didn't tell us the amplifier was coming out. So the people who originally signed up and were paying for them called back and said, well, I want the amplifier. So I don't know about Yaesu sometimes, but the radio looks pretty amazing for the price. Designed to compete with the ICOM 705, but this is a color touchscreen display with a 3D spectrum analyzer. Oh my. I'm looking forward to seeing one of these in person. I'm not clear on the dimensions or how deep it is, but give it a look. Back to Ned.
AS0AS comment. AM4 CFT comment after that.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Thanks for bringing that up, Jonathan. The new Yaesu radio, the FTX1 Optima series, looks like it retails for around $1,800. But yeah, with the that power amplifier, you can get about 100 watts out of it. We had a couple of check-ins there. We had there was someone in KM4 CFT. There was someone checking in there. I didn't recognize your call sign. If you can go ahead and try once more.
Alpha Foxtrot 0, Alpha Sierra for a comment.
All right, I got you that time, Dave. AF0AS, and then after you, Jonathan, KM4 CFT. So, Dave, AF0AS, the net is yours.
Yeah, just a little more information. It's a modular system, and it's pretty trick. The QRP head pops out of the front of the amplifier, so for a base station, station in a box, you pop the QRP into the front of the amp, and all the connections are made via rear-facing plugs, and now you're running as a 100-watt auto-tuning amp. When you pop the QRP rig out, you'll lose the auto-tune, so now you need another accessory, which is the QRP auto-tuner, and you also probably want some battery packs to go with it for portable operation. AS0, AS clear.
Perfect. Thanks for the follow-up on that, Dave. AF0AS, and then we had Jonathan, KM4CFT. Go ahead.
This is KM4CFT. I actually placed my order for the FTX1 Optima last week. If you had a reservation, then the ham radio outlet, without ham radio outlet, they should be calling you. They said that it should ship like right after Dayton concludes, around that time. As for the battery, I heard that being mentioned. Whether you get the Optima or the field version, you will get a battery. The only difference between the Optima and the field version is whether or not you get that amplifier. I opted for the Optima because I thought it might be a cool idea for me to replace, instead of me having my FT891 and FTM400 in my car, I could possibly install the amplifier there, and then I get a way better front head unit. And then when I want to take it out for QRP activation, which would be very often, I can unclip it from my car because I don't foresee myself taking it very often on the bike. I plan on with like my 705. I typically only do that with car activations just because it's a bit too bulky for a bike ride or for backpacking. So, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal. I'm going to drop real quick. So I certainly got experience with the FTDX10. It seems like it's basically a mini FTDX10 with VHF and UHF added. The only thing is that honestly, that 3D spectrum scope, not a fan of it. It makes it hard to read anything. I prefer the traditional waterfall plus spectrum pan adapter combination. It just makes it easier to read things, so I'll let everyone know what the experience is, especially with CW. Since I'm a CW op, I'll take a look at that and see how it is, and hopefully maybe I'll even take some of the knowledge from the FTX1 and incorporate into the CFT2 as I develop it. But that's all I got. Back to net.
Comment, SUM.
All right, thanks there, CFT, for the follow-up. I'll get back to you here, and Jonathan, SUM in a moment. And the chat here, we had a couple of comments. K0BF saying it's being shipped in the UK, and they're holding for stateside after Dayton, potentially. Another comment was pretty much 1 inch smaller than the 991A for size of it. Doug mentions almost like Yaesu watches YouTube like we do. And K0BF also mentioned 3D SS that 3D spectrum maybe can be disabled as well. So that might be something you need to check into CFT when you get that. So Jonathan, SUMKE0 SUM, the net is yours.
Well, I just wanted to agree with his comment. I'm not a fan of 3D displays, but I would suppose Yaesu has to be smart enough to have a way to go back to a regular waterfall, because actually I don't like the same with the DX10. I just don't like the way the waterfall works. So hopefully they built that in for you.
I'm at KM4 CFT.
KM4 CFT, go ahead.
So to follow up on the whole, if it can be disabled, I am about 99% positive that the FTX1 will have the option to either go with the traditional waterfall spectrum combo or a 3D spectrum scope, depending on it, because it looked like they literally they kind of did the same thing that ICOM did with where like the ICOM radios, you have the 7300, the 7610, and the 705 pretty much have the same overall like operating system, so to speak. With this one, it looks like they like the the FTDX10, the FT710, and this one probably have the same thing, because the display looks almost exactly the same. The interface looks almost exactly the same. So I'm guessing that is. And my issue with the 3D spectrum scope is more so that the things is that all the stuff that's happening in the background, like behind what's happening now, just makes it really hard for me to see what's happening right now. It just ends up blocking it and obscuring everything. So it's useful that there is two with a spectrum scope versus in a waterfall. The spectrum scope shows me what's happening right now, so that I can use that to kind of find my parking spot, so to speak, find the clear frequency and make sure I'm not interfering with anyone else. And then the waterfall is for seeing like what just for extra information, like what you would use for like digital modes and stuff.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Epp. And it looks like there's an agreement with you on there. That's the why you would want to use 3DSS versus waterfall in the chat there. So really do appreciate that. So yeah, it looks like I'm looking at the manual here. You can definitely go between 3DSS and the waterfall. So very cool stuff there. Yeah. Pretty neat looking radio. So yeah, it looks like sounds like there's quite a lot of excitement around this radio. So we'd love to hear some more on this. So anyone else on the upcoming radio here? FTX-1 Optima by Yaesu. It sounds like they are doing quite a lot to give us the features that we've all been kind of looking for quite some time now. It definitely comes at a cost, but it's out there. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Please call now. All right. Speaking of events where you might see this, upcoming Hamfest, Hamvention clock is ticking down. We're just 2 weeks away from the Dayton Hamvention, held May 16th through the 18th, Xenia, Ohio. They invite all amateurs attending to stop at their large exhibit. They'll be located in their usual spot, the Tesla building. They'll all enjoy the Peak Solar Cycle 25. There's no better time to step up your radio sport. Let's see. ARL Radio Sport leaders will share an update on 2025 contests. So, again, upcoming hamvention.org. I'm sure you'll see, if you attend that, you'll see maybe this radio and some other radios, and maybe have some potential to purchase it or pre-purchase it there as well. Anyone else on that? If you plan on attending it or have any comments or questions on that or anything else, please call now.
I'm at KM4 CFT.
KM4 CFT, go ahead.
This is KM4CFT. Just in case anyone's attending, I will be at booth 5003. That's in Building 5, and I'll be there with Ham Gadgets, Dan Magro. I'll be with him. I'll be selling all my stuff. And also, conveniently, right next to me, there'll also be N6ARA of N6ARA Electronics. There'll also be Joshua N5FY of Tufton Antennas, and K6ARK Adam Kimberly will be right next to us. So if you any Poda or Soda guys who want to pick up any of our stuff, I definitely recommend you guys check us out.
Excellent. Glad to hear that. So excellent. Very cool. Yeah. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? I can certainly bring up some other things, but anyone else? Please call now. All right. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Otherwise, I can certainly bring up a couple things, but anyone else? Please call now.
Comment, SUM.
W0TX repeater.
KE0 SUM Jonathan with a comment. Go ahead.
I thought I'd give everybody an update about those little miniature radios I ordered off AliExpress or somewhere a while back. The SI, what was it, 4537. Anyway, yeah, it had some flaws, and I wasn't real happy with it. Well, then I went on YouTube just a few days ago, and they reflashed the chip, and they added some things to the board. So the display changed. It doesn't have the annoying features of like a 2-second timeout, and it's way easier to use. So I thought, okay. So I went back to the Chinese places, and they said I could buy it for, I think they said it was $36. I debated that. I said, well, it's added a whole lot of features. Sounds like fun. So I went ahead and looked, and when I got to checkout, the tariffs had kicked in. So on top of the $36 for the radio, there was $12.95 in taxes. So, yeah, they added a lot of money to the thing back in that.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, when you originally mentioned it a few months ago, it was in the right price range of $15 to $20. Looks like on some outlets, banggood.com, maybe a $20, $30 range still. But AliExpress is shot up to maybe $50, $60 or so. It looks like maybe potentially, depending on the vendor that you go with, especially with the more upgraded version, it looks like potentially here. But I did see that as well. Looks like the screen is brighter, at least. I know that you had mentioned using it in the field was a lot more, was difficult. So brighter screen, at least. I forget what other changes they made in the firmware, but anything else on that? Anyone on that? The SI4732 receiver, SDR receiver, radio receiver on that. Please call now. All right, I'm just trying to bring up some of the maybe some of the specifics that were changed there on top of what Jonathan had mentioned. Yeah, it looks like just some creature comforts making things easier to use. Some of those timeouts, as you mentioned. So it sounds like as this product just continues to exist and mature, some of the bugs get worked out. So hopefully software, firmware can be put back onto the original products that you bought, because it is all kind of based on the same hardware, I think, potentially. But anyone else on there, on the net, the SI4732 based radio? Otherwise, we got another comment here in the chat. Anyone else? Please call now. All right. So yeah, if you're looking for a kind of pocket single sideband receiver, pocket sized, $20, $30, $40, depending on where you get it from. This is a product that's ever evolving and getting better. So thank you, Jonathan, for letting us know on that. So let's see, another product someone was talking about was the ZBix QRP rig. Maybe that was a ZBit X. Maybe. Let me see. Yeah, ZBit X, we've talked about in the past. This is a 5-watt transceiver, all bands, all mode SDR for $169. So yeah, this is we've talked about this before in the past. Yeah, but pretty good resource here. Again, 5 watts, 80 to 10 meters CW, single sideband AM, free DV, FT8, single SSTV, touchscreen. All bands, all modes, all things. So yeah, you can work FT8 right from the comfort of this device itself. So pretty interesting product. Yeah. I don't know if who else has brought this up before, but I know we have talked about it. So anybody on the ZBit X 5-watt transceiver? Anybody? Go ahead. All right. So yeah, plenty of options out there. Jonathan earlier brought up a radio that was in the price range of $18 plus $100, and here's a QRP radio for $169, and might work quite well for your needs. So lots of different options out there for all different price points. So again, ZBit X. Their website is it's from hfsignals.com. Okay, it's 8:08 p.m. Mountain Time. Let's see, I certainly can bring up a couple things, but anyone else? Anything else? Please call in. Okay. I'm not sure which mailing list got revived recently. It may have been Den Hack. At least this is an event taking at Den Hack, if you're not aware of them. Denver Hackerspace. Really awesome nonprofit, and they have a building that they host events and different tools that people can go and use, and really awesome place for electronics, woodworking, all sorts of engineering. They sent an email updating us on the Preparedness Education Network with Colorado Ready. Their upcoming meetings, 5 p.m. on the second Sunday of every month at Den Hack facility. They also monitor 146.55 if there's no one at the door. Upcoming meeting, May 11th, they'll have a presentation on programming your VHF, UHF radios by hand, and some chirp. Another interesting event is the June 8th event. Preparedness Education Network, in association with Colorado Ready, is presenting a power grid vulnerability presentation. Let me drop for a moment. More information on this group, pensimplex.net. They are a local group based on trying to help educate people on how to be prepared for emergency disaster situations. They have monthly in-person meetings. Let's see, this one is going to be current status of grid vulnerability. Let me see if I can get a bigger image. Risks, what is being done to address them, and what urgently needs to be done. Presented by Mike Young, the Deputy Director of Colorado National Homeland Security Task Force for Critical Infrastructure. Again, June 8th at the Den Hack building at 700 Calumet Street at 5 p.m. Admission is free, but space is limited. So check them out. And then on the July 13th, they'll have an informal discussion on the alternative power sources, solar, wind generators, and the pros and cons of each. So check them out. pensimplex.net and denhack, denhac.org.
0TX repeater.
And looking at their main calendar, it looks like they have plenty of stuff all throughout the month. Woodshop works, board meetings, embroidery meetings, AI computer science club meetings, introductions to machining, CADs, milling, laser cutting, wood lathing, radio, I think signal intelligence maybe, or something like that. Pretty interesting stuff there. So yeah, check them out. Then we had Dave online mentioning another note, the QRP Labs QMX QRP5 band rig now supports single sideband in addition to CW and digital. Let me look that up here. But anyone else on that or anything else, please call them.
Yes, I can amplify on that a little bit.
Yes, that'll be AF0AS. Dave, please go right ahead.
QRP Labs has been building the QMX rigs and QMX Plus rigs for a while now. 80-40, 80-60-40, 30-20, 20-15, 12-10, whatever, 5-band, low band, and I got a mid-band. It's all the same PC boards, all prefabbed and everything. You just have to do a lot of toroid winding, some inductor and diode inserting, and a bunch of little assembly. But they just updated the firmware. It's got a really powerful micro on it. So now it has full SSB capabilities. It already had digital audio mode, so you could do ST8, ST4, and all those things before it had SSB, because it direct synthesizes the single-tone audio for that, and CW. And now they've added the capability of SSB. It's a little raw right now. I've got 2 of the rigs. I'm building my second one right now as we speak. But it's all done in firmware. So it's synthesized SSB. There's no mixers or things like that to be your traditional SSB generation. It's all done by digitally synthesizing amplitude and phase in 2 loops and generating the signal digitally. So pretty trick little system. They just took the SSB firmware out of beta, so it's there. It is tiny. It's the size of a pack of cigarettes, and it runs on 9 volts or 12 volts, depending on which way you wind the power inductor. Note, for portable ops, 12 volts means 12 volts, not 13.6. 13.6 will overdrive the output stage, which is just 500 milliamp sets, so you don't
Timeout.
So turn it off, long press, boom. Oh, you know what? I'm going to test something. Take that back. All right, I got freaked out because I was getting like nothing out of it, but here we go. Ready? Give it the old whistle.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Dave, the repeater timed out just about 30 seconds ago. So if you had said anything in the last 30 seconds, you got cut off. But if you want to continue on, go right ahead. But it's about a 4 minute timeout.
I thought I made it, but I think I hit the 3 minute mark. Just as I said, I'm pretty happy with it. It does have a built-in Alexa microphone. Unfortunately, at this point, that mic is not in the SSB firmware, so it does ask that you put in an external microphone, Alexa microphone. They do recommend a particular electric capsule, but pretty much any reasonable Alexa microphone will work with it. Everything is 1/8-inch connectors, and that's about all there is. If any questions, I can probably answer them.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for bringing that up. Yeah, I was looking at the build process for this. It looks like it is fairly intensive. But yeah, it's pretty interesting to hear. So, yeah, really cool stuff there. Yeah, it's awesome to hear it's done in firmware too. So, yeah, this is maybe not for the faint of heart, but yeah, it looks like a through hole. And as you mentioned, it's if you've done some soldering kits, it's probably not too bad. If you've done some winding and things like that, probably all the surface mount stuff is already done for you. It's probably just all the through hole stuff you need to do and those parts and components. So very cool stuff. Anyone else on that kit or any other kits? Really awesome experience to be able to buy your own radio kit at a much cheaper price than assembled, and to have something work. It's really awesome. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Please hold there. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. It is 8:17. We have another 10, 15 minutes or so. Anything else anyone like to bring up? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now. I was trying to bring up there's some very cheap soldering kits, so if you're interested in getting your soldering skills honed up, I'm trying to find them, but about $5, $10, $15 you can buy some basic kits with some lights and buttons and things like that. I'll see if I can bring that up here in a minute, but anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, please call now. All right, I just have some examples. A website, tindie.com, very much like Etsy, but for electronics. Tindie.com, if you search for soldering practice kit, you'll find some kits, $5, $10, $15. And they're a basic practicing through hole or surface mount. Great way to practice soldering. And then during the holidays, they'll often have Christmas trees or Hanukkahs, things like that. So it's a pretty good opportunity during the holiday times to get your kids involved. So if you're ever interested in practice soldering, I would highly suggest buying a cheap soldering kit and going from there. Anyone else? Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I have a couple of articles I can bring up, but we'll probably start to wrap the net up here in 10 or so minutes. Anyone else? I can bring up some articles, but anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now.
0TX repeater.
Okay, this is K1 DBC Net Control over on the ARL HQ YouTube channel. They have been putting up some videos. It's always interesting to see those. Recent session, looks like it's 5 sessions so far of next generation DXing. So from mission planning, search for solutions, team building, data networks for ham radio, and the most recent session, radio systems design. These are all about 40 to 50 minutes long and are put on by, looks like several different people. So if you have any interest in doing some DXing, this is probably an amazing opportunity. So DXpeditions, as we've talked in the past, these are not for the faint of heart. They take a lot of planning and a lot of effort. So you'll see pictures of people from different islands and lots of different places, and they've had to do a lot of trekking, and it's taken a lot of finances and a lot of years to get these done. So definitely measure twice, cut once, and definitely plan out for these, because these are not for the faint of heart. So if you're getting to the age where you have the opportunity to do some DXpeditions, here is a series for you. This is K1 at DBC Net Control. Let me see. We had Youth on the Air Camp is coming to Denver this year. Oh, June 15th and 20th. Let me see if I can bring that up. Thank you, K0BF. Let me see. Very cool stuff here. YouthOnTheAir.org, Denver, /Denver 2025. It's probably just right on their homepage, I'm guessing, hopefully. I just Googled it, but okay, so if you go YouthOnTheAir.org and you click on camps, you'll see Denver 2025 there. Really awesome stuff there. Let me see the brochure here. Their goal is to enrich the amateur radio experience of our campers. They will refine their skills, practice in unique experiences with radio-related technologies, i.e. kit builds, contesting, satellite operations, special event station, etc., meet other young hams through workshops and social events. Any amateur radio operator between the age of 15 to 25 that resides in North, Central, or South America can participate. Space is limited to 50 campers. Again, June 15th through the 20th. Thornton, $100 per camper. Includes meal, lodging, admission, t-shirt, transportation, camp activities. More information on their website. Really cool stuff here. YouthOnTheAir.org. There was a recent video on the ARL. Oh yeah, here it is. I think maybe the video titled "Ham Sci," our ham radio students and scientists. I think this maybe highlights the Youth on the Air event as well. So I'll maybe play that after the net here. Pretty cool stuff here. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now. Excellent. Well, thank you for bringing that up, K0BF. Really do appreciate that. Yeah, I didn't realize they were coming here, so that is awesome to see. Let's see. Anyone else? We have another 5 or so minutes. Please call there. All right, I'll read off a quick couple of articles, and then we'll wrap the net up here over on hackaday.com. May 4th, written by Johnny Elliott, Lancing College shares critical design review for UK CANSAT entry. A group of students from Lancing College in the UK have sent in their critical design review for their entry in the UK CANSAT project. Per the competition guidelines, it challenges students aged 14 through 19 of age to build a satellite which can relay telemetry data about atmospheric conditions such as could help with space exploration. The students' primary mission is to collect temperature and pressure readings, and these students picked up their secondary mission to be collection of GPS data for use on planets where GPS infrastructure is available, such as Earth. The 6 students in the group bring a range of relevant skills. Their satellite transmits 6 metrics every second: temperature, pressure, altitude reading 1 and 2, latitude and longitude. Main processor is an Arduino Nano Every. Another process for first 3 metrics, and another for some other metrics. Let me drop for a moment. Last paragraph here. Students present their plan and progress in a Gantt chart, catalog their inventory of relevant skills, assess risks, prepare mechanical and electrical designs, breadboard the satellite circuitry and receiver wiring, designed a PCB in KiCad, and develop flowcharts for the software. The use of Blender for data visualization was a neat hack, and using ChatGPT to generate an example data file for testing purposes. So, crazy stuff here. They wish to wish luck to these talented students, every success with their submission, and hope they had good luck. So, students between the age of 14 and 19. I can't imagine having done that in my youth. So, really awesome stuff here. Just a couple more minutes. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I see if I have anything else. Been plenty of emails about club business. I haven't checked up on that here recently, but upcoming club meeting is going to be not next week, but the week after, the 21st. I don't know if it's been announced yet, but we will have it up on our webpage, w0tx.org, so look for that. Recent roundtable did come out, so you can check that out as well if you like. I really do appreciate everyone's effort with that. Let's see. I don't have much else, but if there's anything else for this evening's Learning Net, please call now. Okay, well, time certainly does fly when you are having fun, and we certainly had a lot of fun and a lot of topics this evening. Really do appreciate everyone checked in. I can't believe there was only 12 people. It seemed like quite a lot more than that, but a lot of participation. Really do appreciate everyone who did check in and brought some things up. A lot of different radios to be had, a lot of different events coming up here. So, yeah, we will talk next week. So this is K1 DBC. I'd like to thank and welcome, or I'd like to thank the Denver Radio Club for allowing us to use the repeaters. Again, join us next week for our next Learning at 7:30 p.m. With that, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I'll play just a couple of minutes of the more information on Youth on the Air, and it'll be just about a minute, and then I'll shut down the YouTube stream. With that, this is K1 DBC 7.3, and I will be clear.
0TX repeater.
W9 RFT with KD-KE8LQR and Taylor KE8KWZ. And we're here today at HamSci introducing why you should attend Youth on the Air Camp.
So Youth on the Air Camp is a week-long camp for young amateur radio operators, 15 through 25. Throughout the week, we do lots of different things from contesting to CW to POTA and satellites. Yoda Camp is run by youth for youth, so most of the session presenters are going to be in the 15 through 25 age range or slightly older. You'll get to learn about a lot of things that you might not get to learn about at your local club as well. So you'll be able to find lots of young Elmers and mentors, even if you don't have someone for those subjects